We have been watching a stablecoin slowly take over traditional finance in a very large way, and this is not slowing down. In fact, it's actually accelerating more and more and more. In just the last 30 days, the stablecoin market is actually up by 5% almost, and this is pretty big for a market that is $250 plus billion. And monthly transfer volume just surged over $3 trillion. And if we look at the monthly active addresses, over 37 plus million, holders over 174 plus million as well. This is a massive market that can no longer be ignored. And what's crazy about the market cap that's showing on rwa.xyz, it's actually incorrect compared to the market cap that CoinMarketCap has. This is actually the up-to-date view, and it's $272 billion. The number one thing that I've been watching is ROUSD though, because we continue to see ROUSD increasing more and more in market cap. We're at 570, almost $8 million. Of course, we could see our ROUSD over here as well. Let me actually find it right here. So we could see that the market cap is actually up about 31% in the last 30 days. Holders are up about 5%, and monthly transfer volume is now surging almost 18% in the last 30 days to over almost $3.2 billion. Again, I'm focused on ROUSD simply because of the fact that, Ripple has been going all in on their stablecoin initiative, and why wouldn't they? We just witnessed one of the largest bills around stablecoins actually pass, which is going to surge the market cap of stablecoins and the monthly transfer volume as well in a much larger way. It's only, a couple weeks out now from when we got that passed. Give it 6 months, give it a year. Stablecoins are just going to become much larger. But let's actually dive on into this because we just witnessed a big update from JP Morgan, again, the world's largest bank. They said that crypto stablecoins will be integrated with the traditional financial system, as well as more tokenization of real world assets. This is clear confirmation of what's coming, right? And what's coming is a tsunami of money into stablecoins. And when we think about that, right, we go back to stablecoins, right? We go back to the stablecoins and we look at the networks, because if we think about the networks in which these stablecoins are living on, okay, some of these exchanges or some of these networks, we actually can't exchange stablecoins on in a very significant way because the network itself is not scalable to like trillions of dollars being moved over it every single day or every single week or even every single month. But if we think about some of these networks that are capable of it, well, we think about XRP, we think about Hedera, we think about Stellar. These are the types of networks that people should be focused on at this time. And the reason why I say that is because as stablecoins become more and more integrated into the US financial system, as we do start to see more and more money moved by stablecoins, guess what that means? That means more demand of these public networks. That means more demand of the gas token. That means the gas token, and this could be XRP, it could be HBAR, it could be XLM, it doesn't matter, right? That means the demand around that token is going to surge in a large way, and that's going to change the value of these tokens. So XRP could surge by 2x, 3x, 4x, depending on how much volume is actually moved on the XRP ledger because of the stablecoin boom. But on top of this, right, this is something that Brad Garlinghouse talked about, previously. This was with eToro. Here we have from RizXRP, the Genius Act opens the floodgates. Listen closely to this video.
Brad, let's talk about the stablecoin again. Congratulations on all of that. Are you going to be using that in your own products? How will it compare with XRP?
We absolutely will be using our own products. A little bit of history on this. Ripple has for years used stablecoins, US dollar stablecoins in certain corridors, depending upon which currency pairs we're dealing with, customer we're enabling, and frankly, sometimes it has been more efficient. And so we've used Tether in certain circumstances. We've used USDC. In fact, at one point, we were responsible for minting 20% of all USDC. And we kind of realized that there's an opportunity in the market as it continues to grow to, particularly for our customer set around, institutions. We felt like it was an opportunity for us to jump in. Look, I think as you look at the road ahead around stablecoins, I think the market's going to continue to grow a lot. I think when we decided to launch a stable coin, it was probably about $120 billion market. Today, I think it's just shy of 200 billion. And some smart analysts forecast it's going to be a couple trillion in 5 more years. So I think the market is going to continue to grow for sure. Right now, the U.S. dollar is by far the most important stable coin, but I think you will see some activity in euro, maybe in yen. We shall see how far down that goes. But look, our goal is to make sure that the XRP ledger is the most efficient, the most trusted, the most utility, and having a stable coin on the XRPL that is robust, efficient, reputable. Ripple has worked with institutions for years now, and I think we have a very trusted brand. And look, we also have a very large balance sheet that we think, if needed, could be helpful in making the RLUSD or Ripple USD successful.
And yeah, I mean, listen, when we think about compliance, when we think about regulations, this is opening up the doors for projects like, XRP. Ripple, because again, Ripple is not XRP, XRP is not Ripple. Ripple's goal here, because they have adopted the XRP ledger, because they have adopted XRP itself, with regulations, with compliance, legitimate companies and projects like Ripple and XRP are going to be at the forefront of this big boom, because they have been working with regulators. They've been working with institutional players for so long. It's the number one reason why XRP is called the banker's coin. I actually just recently talked about this on X, right? I said no one is ready for what's about to hit this market, even though this was a little bit of a meme. I did say institutions are max bidding, and guess who has been catering the XRP ledger to institutions for years, while Bitcoin maxis called it the banker's coin? It's been Ripple with XRP. But also, Jack McDonald made a great post regarding the Genius Act. He said, with the signing of the Genius Act, we're seeing more consumer companies, retailers, platforms, and tech firms explore whether they need their own stablecoin. Again, this is from the CEO of Standard Custody and the SVP of stablecoins at Ripple. But let's be clear, launching a stablecoin isn't like launching a new app. It's infrastructure, and getting it wrong has real consequences. A stablecoin isn't a product extension or a brand feature. It's financial infrastructure, and it comes with deep responsibilities, compliance, liquidity, interoperability, and trust. What are most of these companies hoping for? Avoiding credit card swipe fees, faster settlement and fewer intermediaries, loyalty tie-ins and closed-loop spend, potential new revenue from interest on reserves. These are valid business goals, but only part of the picture. The problem is that most of these models are built for limited single ecosystem use, aka walled gardens, useful only within one brand, not interoperable, not liquid, not programmable. We need less of this fragmentation in global finance, not more. And that's where branded stablecoins fall short. Limited liquidity outside the brand, complex integrations with external systems, no incentive for third-party adoption because they've been built for a single use case. They're built in a single model that is a walled garden. Minimal utility for consumers or enterprises. There's also the trust factor. If you're issuing a stablecoin, you need clear auditable reserves, you need regulatory alignment, you need enterprise-grade risk management. That's not a marketing project. That's serious financial infrastructure. While the US has deep financial infrastructure, many global markets don't. Stablecoins can unlock USD access, speed, and inclusion where legacy systems fall short. That's where the need is most urgent and where the opportunity is greatest. Bottom line, stablecoins aren't just a payment shortcut or a brand feature. They're a foundational layer of modern financial infrastructure, and they need to be built accordingly. At Ripple, we are doing just that. And that's the thing, right? When we think about what Ripple has created with RLUSD, it solves all of this. And XRP, the fact that he mentions, walled gardens is perfect, because what have we been hearing about, walled gardens for years? XRP solves that. XRP is the neutral bridge currency that can bridge anything of value, even if it's on a closed loop platform. If JP Morgan is launching JPMD, if Bank of America is launching their coin, if Citi's launching their coin, guess what? XRP can be at the center of all of that. This is why I keep telling you guys that stablecoins are actually reinforcing XRP's original use case. Now, on top of this, right, we also heard from Reese Merrick, another employee at Ripple. Stablecoins will revolutionize remittances. Traditional remittances can be slow, costly, and lack transparency, riddled with intermediaries, hidden fees, and FX cost. Stablecoins offer a superior alternative, instant and direct, but built on blockchain. They move 24/7 without intermediaries. Cost-effective, fewer fees mean more money reaches its destination. Financial inclusion accessible via mobile wallets. Stablecoins are a game changer for the 1.4 billion unbanked globally. RLUSD and Ripple is perfectly placed to attack and dominate this market. And yeah, this is what I keep saying with stablecoins. People think that stablecoins are just a small piece of the puzzle when they're actually enabling everything that we wanted crypto to enable anyways. Stablecoins actually unlock access to DeFi protocols. It unlocks institutional DeFi use cases, tokenization use cases at scale, but you still need XRP. XRP is crucial. The XRP ledger is also crucial. This is why when we think about the stablecoin boom, we are about to witness one of the largest moments for XRP truly unlocked. And on top of this, Wall Street is going all in on it. Zonix, which by the way is partnered up with Ripple, Wall Street's biggest names like BlackRock, Citi, Bank of America aren't just flirting with tokenization, they're building strategies around it. As Reuters reports, the passage of the Genius Act, Clarity Act, and the Stable Act in the US is accelerating the shift from concept to compliance-backed execution. But scaling tokenized assets across chains and jurisdictions, that needs interoperable, compliance-ready infrastructure. That's where we come in. At Zonix, we're building what makes tokenization work securely, seamlessly, and globally. And yeah, all of these big names are diving on in. Because when we think about what this moment actually is, I think Hunter Horsley from Bitwise put it perfectly. After the iPhone launch, within just a few years, every business had a mobile app and a mobile app strategy. After the Genius Act, every e-com, FinServe, bank, payments company is going to have stablecoins in their products, operation within 24 months. It's going to happen quickly. And yeah, this is where we go back to the walled garden approach, because if all of these players are going to have a stablecoin, strategy built in, and if they're going to launch their own stablecoins, guess what? That just made XRP 10 times, if not 100 times more bullish, because that means that XRP is going to be a crucial piece for all of this as that neutral bridge currency. I keep talking about this on a day-to-day basis because I don't think people realize how big of a game changer stablecoins actually are for the space, but how it enables the original use cases of some of these projects. But on top of that, right, all of the big players are flooding in. Wall Street is going in on stablecoins. Every business is going in on stablecoins. Banks are going in on stablecoins. We are at that iPhone moment, essentially. It's changing the game. And it's not just the crypto game. It's changing the financial systems game. This is why I keep telling everyone, pay attention to what Ripple is doing. Pay attention to what Ripple employees are telling us, because this is one of the largest moments for XRP in history. And going forward, stablecoins are only just going to continue to boom and boom and boom and boom. And the public networks in which they are issued out on are going to also witness that big boom event. And remember what I've said about XRP. We only have 2 stablecoins online right now. There's about 6 or 7 that are going to be fully live on the XRP ledger by the end of this year. That is extremely bullish, and if that doesn't open your eyes to how big the XRPL is going to be and XRP is going to be around the stablecoin boom, I don't know what else will. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, Nick, thanks for watching. Peace out.